Bajide Sanwo-Olu, and the Olu of Warri, Ogiame Atuwase III, were some of the high-profile guests that attended the Lens for Good 2026 Storytellers Conference, which held at the Wole Soyinka Center for Culture and Arts, National Theatre, Iganmu, Lagos. Themed Stories That Move Us. The conference brought together creatives, filmmakers, photographers, and cultural leaders to explore the power of visual storytelling in shaping identity and societal development. Speaking at the conference, the governor emphasized the role of storytellers in shaping collective identity and aspirations.
If you have a space that will take 20,000 people, if you have the security architecture that will keep the place safe, if you have the ability or the capacity for your airports, to push in 200 or 2,000 guests, and clear them within a short while. So whilst we need to open that conversation with the creative minds, government still has a lot of work to do at ensuring that they provide the infrastructure. And so both has to be available. I'll give another example, Afriman, which is another show, is happening later this weekend. And I just got a report that there are about 600 guests, international guests, that need to get visa entry into the country, like ASAP. And the minister working with my office, we just gave all of them a gratis visa, and so for all of them to come. So these are some of the heavy lifting that needs to happen. But who started the conversation? It's the creatives, it's the practitioners, it's the industrial players, it's all of you sitting in this room that you make a pitch and you started that conversation with them. And so they will now say that, what's going on? Where is this going to happen? What do they have? How do we connect them? So both has to truly, really work pari passu. Whilst government cannot sit back and not provide those infrastructure, you also must be able to put up your A team, because we don't know it. We are just government. We're just the lazy one behind it. So you are the activists. You are the ones that will continue to push your story. You're the ones that are supposed to clear up all the space and make sure that you always have a leg room into the room. Once you've done that, leave the other side for us. So we will make, the closure of that transaction for you. We will make it happen. But somebody needs to talk to us and says that, you know what, Mr. Governor, we want to do this. Once you can dream it, we can help you realize that dream. Once you can think of it, we can help you bring all of it to closure and together. Complacency is something that can indeed bring us down, or believing that we are the optima, or we get comfortable with where we are, or we get comfortable with the little successes we've achieved. I want to tell us that it's usually not the way to go. We cannot be complacent. You cannot be complacent. You, the creatives, cannot be complacent. You have to continually raise the bar for yourself. Set goals that you believe, you can achieve, with minimum supervision, and make sure that some other people are looking. We cannot just be complacent. We can, and I keep asking myself that, how can I be a better person tomorrow? How can I govern these people a lot better tomorrow? What are the things that I've taken away today, that I can make my work a lot better tomorrow? And I think it's the same thing. We have to continue to do sometimes a role play. Put yourself in our position. We will also put ourselves in your position. And once we can do that, we should both realize that we need to continue to raise, the bar. What keeps me alive? There's several things that keeps me awake. There's several things. Lagos is a difficult place. It's a big city. I'll tell you a simple story. There's some phones that when it rings and I see the person calling on the other side, I'm not looking forward to picking it, because the guy that is calling me is head of my emergency. Is Lasema, Lagos State Emergency, or is my head of fire. Why would a fireman be calling me to want to say hello? No, he's calling me because there's an emergency somewhere. He's calling me because there's a problem somewhere. So why would I be in a hurry to want to pick it? So I need to say my short prayers first to imagine how big is the problem before I pick it. And so, but the beauty of it is we have created that capacity for them to realize and appreciate that once they call, there will be a solution. Or once they call, there will be a directive that will bring about a solution, to that. And also the same thing with the creatives, We'll finish December now. I can tell you that we've started getting inquiry for this year's December. We've started hearing about stories of the kind of things people want to do in December. So these are the kind of things that will keep us alive. What are the lessons and the learning between November, December that we, even as a government, have learned that we will never make mistakes on, that we will use it as a platform to improve the quality of what we're going to do? And I'll tell you one of it is the fact that we hear that people are making so much money, and crippling people. So we're going to ensure that we can, resolve all of that, and we can plan better in areas and avenue. And I think it's the same thing with all of you sitting down here, right? What are the things that you have left behind last year that you want to do better this year? So it must be a continued, work in progress for all of us. So once we're able to agree all of that, even as you sit back here, then we'll begin to have a better working relationship. We're going to have a better, environment, a better Lagos, a better industry, a better, space for all of the things that we're planning to do better for us. I want to say Lagos, where, if you think of where's the best place to work, where is the best region in the world to work, where is the best city that you believe things will get better for you, where is the city that will give you the most opportunity? The most opportunity, where was that? Think of Lagos. That will be my biggest joy. It will be a place where if you can come and work in Lagos, then you can actually work in anywhere in the world. If you can do it well in Lagos, then you can do it well so that Lagos become that benchmark that will be used as a yardstick to measure other developed cities. And it's happening right now. Check the economics of November last year. Lagos was adjudged at one of the 10 best cities, to live and to work with. But we are not going to sit back and believe that come next year, other cities will not want to take us up. So like I said, we will not be complacent. We'll continue to improve and engage ourselves. We'll continue to ensure that we refine our processes. Consistently, we will be accessible, But at the end of the day, what is the vision? The vision is to have a Lagos that will work for all of us, a Lagos that will be inclusive, a Lagos that will give you clear opportunity in what area. The diversity of Lagos is one of the strongest strengths of Lagos. And that must be in our fiber at the end of the day, where people can come, people can smell the business, and you can be the best in whatever profession, in whatever choice you. And Lagos must be able to accommodate you, give you that space to do well and do it well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Simple video of me saying, these are lessons I learned from going broke. Inspire people to make better financial decisions and avoid serious shaggy. A simple rant video about me talking about the lessons I learned while making money, taught people how to make better use of their money while they started making money. A very simple video about me talking about life with 200K salary inspired people to manage the little they had. And videos like, because I was vlogging today, this is my first time vlogging, by the way. So as I was outside, I had like 10 people come up to me and say, Olamide was there and said, I came here because of you. And I have a slight imposter syndrome. But at the same time, it reminded me that the videos I've been sharing, whether they have 5,000 views, 10,000 views, 100, 500,000, that it inspired people to be intentional about becoming better versions of themselves, be it in work, in life, in relationships, whatever. So Lens for Good helped me really understand that this thing I'm doing, it actually means something, and it's something that I should not take for granted. So yeah.
Only for 2025, Dr. King reached out to me to go to Owerri, and I was like, huh? From where? From where? And only to figure out that, the little things that I post, like everybody has said, like, is reaching one or two people. People are actually like paying attention to you. Like, to be very honest, we are creatives. We definitely have our moments where we feel we are not doing good, where we are feeling like, oh, nobody's paying attention to us, that we're just creating, but we don't have any views and all of that. But Lens for Good reaching out to me was one of the best things that happened to me 2025. And having to go to Owerri to actually teach over 5,000 people. And then getting there, I was so nervous, like I am right now. And meeting all these amazing people that literally told me, put me together, talk me through it. My legs is literally shaking right now, by the way, so. And then I met one particular girl, Cecilia. You remember her, right? She's been following my work for such a long time. And she showed me videos of her trying to teach young female photographers over there, and having to say how much that they had to rent a camera and all of that. And then when we were making the decision of one of the gifts to give them, and me and Yemi King decided to give her like a camera. And then there was a particular guy that cried when he won. And having to see all those kind of people, the impact that Lens for Good, the opportunities that Lens for Good has created for them was literally so beautiful. And trust me, after Lens for Good, I don't think I ever wanted to let these people go, because it was such a very beautiful community. If you all came up with an idea this year on, we connecting more, and that is also part of my 2026. And to still stay connected to Lens for Good for more years to come is still literally in my books.
I was telling Jara backstage that, there are some things that will happen in the life of a person, and you just know that this thing has changed the trajectory of this person's life. And for you, it's small. For you, it's just a phone. It's just a small ring light. But by the time they were handed the phones, the lights, the small tripods that they gave them, the joy, the happiness, the fulfillment. We saw people that had never won anything before in their lives win something. We saw people that never felt like their dreams would be empowered. We saw them in tears. We had married men and married women with children rolling on the floor, saying thank you. And it was very, very emotional. If there is anything in anybody that day that has any little flicker of impact, it was ignited in everybody. And I think it challenged me to do more. I mean, it's very easy to do a lot of things when you are surrounded by ingrates and be discouraged. And it's very easy when, you come from a place like Lagos when everybody just shows up for showing up sake. But the fact that we were able to go to a place and you could tell impact. They called one guy out for, hope I'm not using my other guy's time. Guys, can I go on? They called one guy out, and the guy was running, and he was rolling on the floor like this, kicking off on camera. But for him, it was breakthrough.
I think we may need to interpret. I think we may need to interpret for the sake of people who don't speak Yoruba.
I meant, what did they give him?
Yes, a camera.
Okay, is it the way I just said camera? Camera na water na. I mean, and what I just did now begs on the point, because for us it's nothing. Camera plenty, camera day where we say the focus not just there, right? Let's just drop it. Camera plenty, but the things that you take for granted, the things that we take for granted, and then you now see people say this is a lifeline. Thank you, guys. I don't think any amount of money could buy that. It was amazing.
Thank you.
On his part, the Olu of Warri added that stories do not merely entertain nations, they shape them. Africans must reclaim narrative sovereignty. Those who steward stories do not just preserve culture, they set the direction of history. He further noted that many African societies have suffered distorted portrayals by outsiders, and that countries admired globally are often not perfect, but have simply mastered the art of telling their own stories.
I got an inspiration to go back in time and come up with identities for my 20 forebears, my 20 predecessors. Because prior to my great-grandfather, who was crowned in 1936, and before him, there was no king for 88 years. That in itself is a different story. So if you take 88 years from 1936, you are now in somewhere in the 19th century, 18 something. And of course, at that time, we did not have photographers. We didn't have artistic depiction of what our kings looked like. We just had it on record that this was their name, and this was the year they reigned, and these were the things that happened during their reign. And for me, I felt this overwhelming sense of giving these 16 monarchs an identity. And so, by hand, I began to tell a story, starting with the first Olu Ginoa, who set up the kingdom in 1480. And based on the stories that were told and what history recorded, we created an insignia for him. And we did the same for the second, the third, all the way to the 17th, to the 16th. And then, obviously, when my great-grandfather is crowned in 1936, we have cameras. So we are able to show you his photographs and all of that. But when we are now referring to the era of Olu Ijije or Irame or Ojoluwa, you can now refer to those insignias as though you are referring to the persona of the people. And this has proven so powerful because now, and I don't know if I'm revealing too much, when I dream or have encounters, and it's not just an ancestor who appears before me, he is now appearing with an insignia on his chest, then I know who it is that is interacting with me. And so for me, that is confirmation that a story that I have used my hand to write in 2021 percolates and resonates all the way through this same bloodline that has been on this throne since 1480. And they all agree that this identity that the one who sits on the throne today has given us, we accept. And so we looked to civilizations that have in history told us that absence of image does not mean absence of identity. And so we depicted our ancestors not as myths or an artistic depiction, but as monarchs, glorious, dignified, assured. Because imagery is not just decoration, it is memory that is made visible. The narrative that we must correct. For too long, a quiet lie has been accepted that Africans, the black man, whether he's in the Caribbean or wherever, the black man, are strength without thought. They are talent without structure. Entertainment without intellect. That the black man only excels in sports and in rhythm, but not necessarily in commerce, science, strategy, or philosophy.
An answered prayer to speak about building the future of my country is to revisit the words of Sir Nnamdi Azikiwe in 1959, where he said, "For 25 years of my life, I have fought for the freedom of Nigeria. Nigeria will gain independence on October 1st, 1960, and it makes no difference who becomes prime minister. whether Tafawa Balewa, Awolowo, or myself. So long as Nigeria is free, I will be satisfied. To speak about building the future of Nigeria is to acknowledge the resilience of the youths. So when a youth says, I love my country, but because words signifying doubt yet serving as a seal to conviction, like, but I forgive my kinsmen, and for my country I will represent. Like, you broke my heart, but I still love you, with all the pieces that looks exactly like that on the map of my country that connects us, yet most mistake it for scars, causing upheaval by digging up stories of injuries. Like, but I wish to be taken back to the times
everyone was happy, everybody was joyful. Some people just kept on saying, oh, like, I want to write my name down, please. It was highly emotional for me because you never really know what you could do in someone's life through your work. It could be as simple as helping them and you've changed your life. They would always talk about that thing over and over and over. And after coming out and seeing those people the next day, some of them didn't get a prize. But then I know that I and Naomi, we highlighted that it's not even about the prize, it's about what you've learned, what you've taken, and what you can do with it tomorrow. Because I didn't even see myself being there that day. You can never just tell where God would use you to impact someone. And that was just my major highlight. It was such a beautiful experience, the level of intentionality, because for each booth, there was a tripod, there was a phone, and there was a piece of work. And the objective was that every participant was to market that product. And on that spot, we had just about 40 minutes to film, edit, and put into the hard drive. And everyone did that. It also reminded me of the fact that you can do things timely. You could shoot something now and produce it now. It is not about later or procrastinating. It was just a beautiful experience. And the next day, being like the third day, I was just on my seat watching everyone get their equipment and giveaways. All I can say is that it was amazing. And I can see the long-term vision of where this is going.
Now you're in the room, you have people around you, and one of the things I've learned is another way for you to grow as a content creator is to leverage relationships. So you have been here, Lens for Good has created an opportunity for you to meet people. It has created an opportunity for you to sit in the room with people. Please don't take it for granted. Walk up to people. Like we were saying about the whole Owerri thing. Yeah, we had 5,000 people, but I can tell you for sure that there are people who actually came and would not take anything from it. 5,000 people. There were people, we saw burning hunger, like people were hungry. But there are people who also came for fun. I don't want you to be among the people that came today for fun. I want you to understand, if you're still seeing content creation as a joke, content creation is not a joke. Oh. There are people that currently, content creation literally took them out of their debt. Some people that are built, if you think, I think when I started content creation, when I hear people say people built houses off content creation and all, I did not believe that. Until being in that space and you see the amount of money you can make, I think a lot of Nigerians, I'm particular about Nigerians, because you guys sometimes feel like, oh, yes, it took a lot of people, like people are building their lives around, like building their lives with content creation. So Lens for Good has created that opportunity. Please don't take it for granted. Today, walk up to people. Build relationships, see people that are here. You can walk up to anybody. There are people sitting. I think Ifyok said something today that the next, but let's say the next Zarabanjo is probably sitting down here. The next Yemi King is sitting down here. And you'll probably not be able to tap into that if you don't even see yourself as that. So please just use this opportunity to, network with people. Lens for Good has created that opportunity. So just take it.
There were performance sessions to entertain guests. And in one of the sessions, Governor Sanwo-Olu broke into energetic dance steps while the Olu of Warri watched on. The contrast drew laughter, admiration, and praise for both leaders' differing yet endearing styles. Governor Sanwo-Olu and the monarch toured the revamped theatre complex, which features modern creative studios, outdoor performance spaces, rooftop cultural decks, and a view of the Lagos Blue Line intra-city rail. Other guests at the event include the chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, Idris Olorunimbe, Lagos State Commissioners for Culture, Tourism and Arts, Toke Benson Awoyinka, and the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Omotosho.